Welcome back to Kingston Reviews. Derek here. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. This is the SL500 update on my son's vehicle. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I'm heading out to the car to show you guys all about it and give you guys the update. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have owned one of these, an older model, but I don't know about you guys, but whenever I get up close to mine, like I'm like this far away, there's no problem. But as soon as I get up close to the car, listen. What is that sound? Well, that's the sound of it sucking money out of my pocket every time I turn around. But okay. Now that the jokes are over, let me give you guys a quick update. So, as you guys can see, I did fix the back tire for him. I've been trying to make this video all day. I keep getting stopped by something. That repair, that's the one that the repair shop in South Carolina told me would be about $9,000. I was able to bring it back here and they were able to get it done for around $2,000, including the rim. I think the rim cost me about 400 bucks. And then I think I had to get a new tire. So everything all in, maybe $2,200 all in for the repair. That's replacing the control arms and the back of the supports for the rear tire. All that had to be replaced. It did have to be realigned. That was probably a few months later we realized that as the tire wore incorrectly, that back right tire was out of alignment, and that probably was another couple $100 bucks. Before I forget about it, we also had to change out this brake light. This brake light cracked one day, shutting the hood. The hood's supposed to be automatic as well, automatic shutting, but that mechanism broke, and then I guess slamming the back of this thing caused this to crack. We replaced it with one all. So I wanted to say that the light itself I was able to purchase on Amazon. The price for that wasn't too bad, but once again he was away in South Carolina and used that same repair shop down there to do the install, and the install on it cost me another, I think, $150. So all in, I'd say I was around 200 bucks to get the light fixture replaced. But it doesn't fit quite perfectly. I think you guys can probably see that lip. Like I said, bit of a money pit. Obviously the car is a lot of fun. It's about 330 horsepower, something like that. I don't know, I'm not a super duper car guy, but it definitely gets up and goes. It's a heavy car, but other than that, it drives pretty well. So another thing that we've had to have done to the vehicle is there are two batteries inside this car. They have a consumable battery, which is in the front. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And a starter battery in the very back of the car, obviously for the starter. Because this car is super complicated and has a lot of luxury features, you got to remember that when this car first came out, it was pretty much a $100,000 car. I want to say like every rapper, anybody that was anybody had this vehicle. I'm going to actually go ahead and pause it here. I want to start the car for you guys so you can hear it. So I'm not a huge car guy, but I know a lot of you guys like that. So I went ahead and did that for you. The car has currently, can't see it right now, it has the ABC warning on there, but we actually removed the ABC hydraulic system. That's another repair that we did, and replaced it with the coilovers, the Neomax coilovers. You'll see that in the description below, and I'll post it up here just so you guys can see it. But the car has about 68,000 miles, if I can actually get through the menu. Yep, there you go. 68,000 miles. So when we did the coilovers the other day, when we got it back, the AC went out. So now we've got to fix the AC on the inside.
Nice.
Little minor issues here. No cracks in the leather. Everything else with the car, works and functions great. This is an older model car, so it does not have Bluetooth. So we've got to use one of those Bluetooth FM things. We're thinking about changing that dash out right here into a modern radio, but I don't particularly want to do a lot of changes that physically change the vehicle. I did let him put this little neon strip. You know, he is 19 years old, so you got to give him a little bit, right? You can't give him everything, but you got to give him a little bit. Almost no gas in there. I'm gonna pop the hood for you guys, and we'll talk a little bit about what we did under there. Once again, the start button's actually here, which I think is pretty cool. I tend to think that it should be here, but it's on the top of the thing. Everybody mashes this thinking it's the gear shifter, but it is not. It's actually the start button. So when I actually shut this hood earlier, this little emblem popped off. It's been there since 2005, but whenever I shut the hood on it earlier, that popped right off. So I had to replace that. Bought that on Amazon today. That's another $40 down the hole. So, you know, before I bought the car, I actually talked to my mechanic, and he told me, kind of jokingly said, hey, if you're going to buy the car, make sure you have a deposit. You know, go ahead and get your earnest money ready, your deposit ready, because you're going to spend some money. And he wasn't lying. So this is the ABS tank, the hydraulic fluid tank. The ABS pump is actually right there. It's part of the serpentine system. And we went ahead and had that removed because it started leaking. Very common issue. Even before it started leaking, we had to change out the fluid in the hydraulic pump probably every several months, because it would all that debris that collects in the line, because the lines get old, actually really gives the pump a hard time going, allowing the car to go up and down. So you had to flush it out like every few months. That flush alone, just materials, me doing it myself, was a couple $100. There goes the Neomax coilovers that we replaced. So here is an image of the coilovers we got from Neomax. These things were, I believe, around $1,300, which is not bad. They were actually on sale. You still see some of the wiring left over from the ABC system. My son did do the little ear intakes. He wrapped them with fiber. He wants to, you know, he likes that look. I'm not a big fan, but that's his thing. There goes the consumable battery, and then the other batteries in the trunk. We also replaced the alternator. So although the alternator only cost about $300, unfortunately I had to tow it from Wilmington, which was about $750, bringing my total to around $1,100. That was one of the things we replaced earlier. So I think that's pretty much it. But hold on, okay, there's more. So actually, if you see the red on the top of the engine, my son decided it would be a great idea to paint the top of the engine. So we took off the valve covers and did that. Unfortunately, they cracked the aluminum valve cover on one of the either the left or the right side, and the piece that cracked fell into the engine and fell all the way down between the timing belt. This repair was actually quite extensive. They had to remove the bottom of the suspension to get to the oil pan, which is genius German engineering. They have the suspension blocking the oil pan, so you can't even remove the oil pan without removing the bottom of the suspension system. That repair totaled around $1,500. Believe it or not, this one actually hurt the most of all of them because it was unnecessary. The rest of it, I think I've already talked to you guys about, but it is running. It works just fine. The sunroof works just fine. The other hydraulic pump is in the trunk of the vehicle back here. It's actually up under here. I'm not going to go ahead and remove that for you guys today. Someone's got his tennis stuff back here, but it is back in here. That hydraulic system handles the roof, which works perfectly fine as of right now. And it's not known to have a huge issue with it not working. There's really just that ride assist system that usually fails. And now that we've replaced it with the coilovers, that should pretty much be it.
Oh, but wait, there's more. So after we put on the Neomax coilovers, we noticed that there was a little bit of pulling in the front, and then we also wanted to adjust the ride height and take a look at the wear on these tires. So apparently the inside of the tire is rubbing on the lower control arm in the front of the vehicle. So now we've got to take it back to the shop again this Monday. So I'm sure that's going to be another few $100. All right, so thank you guys for sticking in here to the end of the video. Really appreciate it. So as you can see, this car is an absolute money pit, and if you're not prepared to spend money for repairs, upkeep, maintenance, this is not the car for you. As I said in the beginning, it's a 2005 Mercedes SL 500. I've got fairly low miles at 68,000 on it, but even with that, it's just a lot of upkeep because of the hydraulic systems, just because of the way it was engineered. I think it was actually over-engineered in a lot of ways, so there's a lot of moving parts that you're always having to repair. And like I said, if you're not ready for that, definitely not the car for you. However, I can definitely tell you that it's a lot of fun to drive. It is one of the most beautiful cars that I can think of. It's one of the cars that I've fallen in love with. It's just all the different SLs. We have the SL 500 2005. I do have a SL 560 from 1986 as well, the white one. And then I would really love to get a 90s SL 500. I'm hoping that will happen one day, but I definitely need you guys to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, so maybe that can be a dream that comes true one day. So once again, if you guys like content like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. My subtotal that I have roughly right now is that we've spent about $10,000 to $11,000 on the vehicle on necessary repairs, not counting oil changes, stuff like that. If I counted that, we're definitely in that $12,000 to $13,000 range. So thank you guys for tuning in, and have a great evening.